Hello, I am Fennec and welcome to the first video in a multi-part tutorial on how to fly the AH-94 Dragonfly. I am a student pilot learning to fly Bell 206s and Schweitzer 269, so I just kind of noticed a lot of people, helicopters are difficult to fly, so I'm going to use my expertise to kind of just try to teach people how to fly. And so, the first video we're going to be covering is the very basics of this aircraft and startup and shutdown. Now, let's start with the basics. The AH-94 Dragonfly is a two-engine, two-seater, four-bladed, semi-rigid light attack helicopter with a total of 6 pylons, 2 of which only being able to carry AIM-92 Stinger missiles. It is the slowest aircraft in VTOL VR, obviously. However, very nimble. So that's all I really have for that. And now we have my POV. We're gonna go for the startup and shutdowns. We're gonna have 2 startups, a realistic and combat, and then one shutdown, which is standard shutdown. We're going to go ahead and begin with the realistic startup. So first thing you want to do, main battery, APU. But I already had those on, so I could use the S-cam. Next thing you want to do is get all your avionics working. So MFDs, Artificial Horizon, RWR, UFD. I don't care what you set this to. I usually have it to fuel because I prefer the steam gauges, but you are you. Next is lights to indicate that you are starting up. And the final thing, rotor brake off. So, just gonna make sure everything's good, and you're gonna just pick any engine, doesn't matter. We're gonna start it. So we're gonna just go right. Alright, also the head mounted display. So we're gonna wait for the right engine to reach the end of the yellow. Here it is on that, and then we're gonna kick throttle to idle. The engine's now going to start to actually actually start to run, and we'll see the rotors moving. Rotor RPM come alive. So the right engine started just kicked off. You usually can hear it, but I kind of was talking. You can start the left engine. Close that off. So see the left engine coming up. Rises over the right for a little bit, and then it's off. So now we're ready for throttle up. If you want to be realistic, there is no punishment to this game, but you can throttle up, however, keeping torque below 40%. The line I currently have it on. And there we go. Now all the gauges are in the green. Rotor green, torque green, RPM green. You're ready for takeoff. Parking brake. So now we're gonna do the combat startup. For the combat startup, start the same. Master battery. I'm bad at aiming. APU. Now once the APU spools up a little bit, you're just gonna start an engine. So because the engines take a little bit of time to start, you're gonna use that time to get everything in the cockpit ready, well, not really lights, but avionics, rotor brake, and throttle. Also select it if you want to. And so with that, the engine is starting to spool up. You can see it, and let's listen for it to kick off. Well, yeah, you won't really hear. Oh, dang, tracking issue. Make sure that never happens. That is not good. But during a combat start, apparently you will not hear the starter kick off. But now rotor's in the green, torque's in the green, RPM is in the green. You're ready to fly. So now we're gonna do a shutdown. Just presume you just touch down. Want your parking brake on. Bring throttle to idle. And if you cannot use voice communications like ground Alpha 11 rearm, ground rearm. Never mind, they're not being cooperative. But if you can't do that, keep it like turn off your avionics. But if you cannot use voice comms, keep an MFD open. So we're just going to continue to turn off avionics. Lights are off. So if you want to be realistic, you wait. Oh yeah, we can now turn off. Yeah, if you want to be realistic, wait 30 seconds to turn off the engines, and then furthermore, wait for the rotor to reach red. But again, this is VTOL VR. It's not that realistic. There's no punishment if you do. But once it reaches the red, well, rotor brake on. Now I would have. Once the rotors come to a halt, you're going to want to turn APU and master battery off. So, rotor just stopped. I don't really need a rearm and repair. Yeah. Double check everything over. APU off. Battery off. Actually, no, I did forget one thing. If you're doing carrier ops, rotor full. But I'm not doing carrier ops. So. And now we're done. Ground rearm. And it's not working. S-cam. So that was the first video in my tutorial for flying the AH-94 Dragonfly. There should be a link to a Google Docs I'm working on. That's more of like a paper manual. Stay tuned for more. I'm gonna turn this off.